Hey guys, Mika here, and I'm bringing you a wonderful tenor custom ukulele from Jake McClay, luthier Jake McClay. This is a tenor Hive instrument, and this one has some very special wood on it. But starting with the front, since it's on the sides and the back, we have beautiful Adirondack spruce with beautiful quarter sawn or beautiful kind of that hazy kind of green pattern look to it when you look at it in the light, especially in the lighting of this room. Beautiful fogginess, which is the good thing. You want that because it gives it that very, not 3D-ish effect, but it gives it that kind of holographic kind of effect. When you look at it in the light, you can see all the different angles making the that fogginess kind of move around on the wood. So this is a beautiful piece of spruce on the front of the instrument. Now moving on to the back and sides, we have the also coveted the tree mahogany, which is essentially this very special cut of tree, special tree that essentially was logged and essentially made not that many sets of it, but it was essentially revered for its crazy curl and patterns, wood grain patterns of mahogany. Because let's be real, mahogany just will not ever look like this. So this is a cut of the tree mahogany, which is just very special and very sought after pieces of wood in the not only the ukulele world right now, but especially in the guitar world. So beautiful stuff here on the back. And then you even have a little bit around the rosette right here. It almost looks like it's stained a little bit since it's a slightly browner color, but we have the tree right here around the rosette. So beautiful. It matches very well with the Adirondack spruce here on the top of the instrument. Then we have the ebony bridge, fretboard, as well as the headstock, as well as the back end of the head plate. And then we have upgraded Waverly tuners, a step above the Goto tuners. Waverly tuners are amazing. In fact, I have Waverly tuners on my custom Ko'olau instrument, so these are amazing and really awesome to use. The black and gold aesthetic never can go wrong. Very classy kind of look, especially on the front of the headstock when you have the gold pegs sticking out with the black face, or the head plate just looks very nice. And then gloss neck, mahogany neck, gloss neck. And then something important to note, that for Jake's instruments, he likes to have 12 frets to the body, so this is what you're gonna have. This is very indicative of like classical guitars. Classical guitars have 12 frets to the body because this is like apparently like the sweet spot. Again, I'm not like into physics and all those kind of things. I'm not into the luthier mindsets, but having 12 frets to the body, this is like the sweet spot of the instrument. Oh, gosh. Wow. But anyway, as you can see from here, this proof lies in the sound. Having the 12th fret joint at the body, this is like the sweet spot of the instrument. So it is 12 frets to the body. Usually tenor ukuleles are more commonly known to have 14 frets to the body. This one has 12 frets. But this one also has the side sound port as well, so you can hear yourself when you're playing, versus like you needing to be in front of the instrument, which it's impossible. You can't play and be in front of the instrument at the same time unless you have someone else play the instrument. But what would you sound like if you were playing? Well, this is what the side sound port does. It hits your face, so you can hear a small tidbit of what's actually being projected forward the instrument. It also allows the instrument to me to be a little more breathier, or it has a little bit more air to the space. So like, what am I talking about? For me as a player and the instrument, I feel like I'm in this sphere, or this kind of little space where when you're playing, you know, I play a C chord, I'm kind of in this bubble where the sound is like, you know, I'm fully enveloped into the sphere or soundscape of the instrument. By having this side sound port, not only are you having the sound project forward because of this, the main, you know, sound hole, so it projects forward, you have this, you know, having the sound spilling out from the side. So now it's really kind of like encapsulating the sphere that I'm in, so that I hear a very well-rounded sound, and the instrument just kind of breathes a little more because there's now another hole for the sound to escape. So I'm a huge fan of side sound ports, so I love to see them on instruments, and something that I would love to have on my instruments as well. Getting into the sound, what I really love about Jake's instruments is that he does an excellent job of being able to capture lows of the instrument as well as sparkly highs, and not having too much of the mid-range. But this instrument is very balanced, that it does a good job of capturing more or less the entire sound spectrum. And for me, and this is always just going to be my opinion, you know, it's not fact or anything, but for me, when I play an ukulele, it's really hard for an ukulele to do everything. As much as we would want the instrument to be warm but bright but soft and, you know, all these different kind of tonal characteristics or dynamics, it's really quite difficult to make an ukulele sound like everything. So usually my ears always pick up kind of like two main frequencies, which is like you have your lows and then everything in between. You have your mids and everything in between, and your highs, everything in between. And usually instruments will kind of cater to like two of those. Again, it's really hard to have all three of them, just because then it's going to just start all kind of mingling with each other. But when I play Jake's instruments, I definitely hear the lows, like especially like in the top two strings. Nice pronounced low ends. But then when I play like the A and E strings, very just articulate, very clear, very rounded. I just love how like there's just so much like volume, but the tone, like listen to that vibrato. It's just so clean, but there's that nice little kind of like click to the top string. Like listen how clean this. Clean, but you hear that sweetness. That's what I hear as like the mid-range, which is what this instrument is like. It's basically capturing some of that mid-range too for my ears. So it's just so nice to be able to hear an instrument that is so well balanced with the lows, the highs, but it has some of that sweetness from the mid-range, which is why Jake's instruments are really amazing, and it's always really fun for me to be able to play his instruments, because I'm always just fascinated by how he's able to. It just sounds so good. It's so clean, especially the A string. The A string for me is so important because that's where the melody sits. I'm not a low G player, so I don't really have too much to say about the low G presence on this, but I can talk about the presence of the oomph or the low end that it has. Ukulele is providing so much just tone and just like it's just hitting a lot of the different areas of the sound spectrum. So you know, even playing up here, again, this A string is just, I just love how rounded. It's not a piercing sound. It just sits really well. Like it's just a nice wow rounded. It doesn't just jump forward. Fantastic instrument. Wow. So let's get into a sound sample. Wow. As you can see, I was trying to play all around the fretboard, and man, this thing just sings. This thing just... It's just so clean.